is Coach Lee with myexbackcoach.com, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you can know if your ex's rebound relationship is likely to fail. Take a second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos, more content that's helpful to your situation, and that includes attraction, relationship dynamics, and breakups. So often it feels devastating if you have been broken up with and then you see your ex with another person. It's a horrible feeling, and it usually opens those wounds again, especially if it's done soon after and you feel like maybe you've made a little bit of progress. It can reopen those wounds. It can even reopen them if it's been a while. But if you see your ex with another person, it hurts. And it makes you wonder what your odds are of getting them back. I have other videos about rebound relationships and how a lot of times those can help get your ex back because they actually can deliver your ex back to you kind of on a silver platter. And the way that you respond can have a lot to do with that. So let's go over a few things that suggest that a rebound relationship is temporary and headed out the door. So the first one, and maybe one of the more obvious ones, is if it happens really soon after your breakup. Now this assumes that you two were together a decent amount of time. For the sake of giving a number, let's just say at least 3 months that you two were together, and then within the first week or two, they are already dating someone and it seems like they are exclusively dating this one person. That is usually very soon and often is the classic rebound because it's difficult to just move on that quickly. And in some ways it's artificial. And when that begins to catch up with them and actually affect the relationship in a negative way, that's when it can cause it to simply fizzle out. And how it can affect the relationship in a negative way is that your ex will be comparing this person with you. Even if you didn't have a great relationship or if it faded there toward the end and there was difficulty and anger and arguing, they're still going to compare to you. And if they were with you for 3 months or more, especially if we're talking about relationships that have been a year, 2 years, or more, they are still going to feel a connection to you and they are going to remember the connection that they had and the companionship and the commitment and the structure of the relationship that they had, which most people feel that these things are good. Even the structure. We talk about routine sometimes like it's a bad thing, but if we're being honest, we kind of enjoy the routine and the traditions with the right person, especially when we look back on them. We enjoy thinking about how maybe every Friday we used to go see a movie, or we used to do lunch together on Wednesdays. The routine, yes, can get boring, especially if it feels routine. But if it's a tradition and it's something that can be looked back on with warmth, then it can be something that your ex will see as lacking in this rebound because they haven't been together long enough to establish these traditions. And they might even try to force them. Your ex might even try to force some weekly thing. And a lot of times it begins to feel artificial, and that can cause this relationship to fizzle out. Especially if your ex begins to feel the drop in attraction for this person and they begin to become clingy or needy, that can push them away and right back to you many times, especially if you're staying in no contact and keeping your ex curious. That can definitely get their focus away from the new person. Another sign that this rebound relationship is going to fail is if your ex is still in contact with you. If they're still reaching out to you, if they're still wanting to know what's going on in your life and tell you about things that are going on in their lives. I'm going to get to that in just a second. That's a very good sign that this rebound relationship is not going to last because they are still seeking your presence. They're still seeing a place for you in their life and they are missing when you're not in it. Very positive things. And if they're doing that while they're in a relationship with someone else, it will most likely sabotage it, especially if this other person has any jealousy about them. And I'm going to get into that in just a little bit as well. If your ex still flirts with you, you have to ask yourself if they take this other person seriously and they feel exclusive and committed to this person, why are they flirting with you? And the thing is, they are going to ask themselves that question as well. It's very disrespectful to flirt when you're in an exclusive relationship. And disrespect lowers attraction, both when you do it and it shows attraction is falling or is low if they can be disrespectful to someone. When you do not respect another person, attraction is usually low or falling. And by flirting with you, they show that they don't have the respect for this other person that they should in a relationship that's going to go the distance and last. And so that's a good sign that this relationship's going to fizzle out and that they're still interested in you. And of course, all of these things are subject to interpretation, because sometimes you might think your ex is doing something and they are not. And it's not a 100% thing. I'm just giving you signs that likely mean things and that are good positive signs. If your ex shares intimate moments with you, and by intimate moments, I need to define what I mean is, for example, if you were in Alaska and you saw a beautiful sunset behind the mountains and your ex was not with you, or for the sake of this example, the person you love is not with you, one of the thoughts that you would probably think is, I wish they were here to see this with me. And so it's an event that you're part of. And because you feel an intimate connection with this person, you wish that they were there as well. So if something great happens to your ex and they want to tell you, that's a sign of the feeling of intimacy, that they feel intimate with you, that they are intimate with you, emotionally speaking. And so they want to tell you great things, but they also want to tell you things that break their heart or make them sad. They want to tell you the parts and the events of their life because they feel close to you and they want to share and experience those things with you. That is a powerful thing, and it's a good sign that they still want you in their lives. They still feel close to you, and it's very difficult for them to be able to have a relationship with anybody else if they are feeling that with you. So that is a great thing. It's a big deal. It should be encouraging to you. Again, the road is long. It's a marathon here in terms of getting your ex back. Don't rush it. Just know if these things are happening, that's a good sign, and you should continue doing what you're doing, which hopefully is that you are letting them come to you. Another thing that is dependent a lot on how your ex handles themselves and lives their life is that if they have not changed their relationship status on Facebook. So maybe sometimes people just keep it in a relationship and it never went out of a relationship and starting a new one. In other words, the relationship status is still connected to you. Or some people just keep themselves as single on Facebook even when they're in a relationship. And if they haven't at least changed that from single to in a relationship since they've started with this new person, that's a good sign too. Again, it's not a home run, but it's a pretty good sign. Another sign is if you find out that this new person is jealous of you or saying bad things about you, it may be irritating, but it's a good sign, because why would they be if things were just going super well and if they were confident that they could keep your ex? Because usually when people say bad things about others, they're trying to put that person down because they don't feel like they're high enough. And they feel like they're trying to push this person below them because at the moment they feel the other person's above them. And so if they're saying bad things about you, it's probably because they feel like you are above them and they can't measure up. And so they're trying to put you down. And if they are jealous of you, if they've said things that suggest they're jealous of you, or they can't stand it if your ex says hello to you or anything like that, that is because they feel that you have the power to take away your ex from them, that they are powerless to keep them, that you have more things going for you and could take them from that person. So that's a big deal, because that is not an attractive characteristic. When you're jealous, it's not attractive at all. That's one of the reasons that you should stop it. And that should motivate you to be able to stop it, is to know that you're being more attractive when you're not jealous. And so if this new person is being jealous of you, it is a sign to your ex that they are not as attractive as you, that they're not as confident as you, that they're not as strong inside as you. Because they're jealous of you, they feel that you could take away what they have, that you have the ability, the capacity, and the strength to take away what they have. That's what jealousy is. When you are jealous of someone, when you feel jealousy, when two people are together and one of them you see as being the person that you are with in a relationship, that means that the person that is sitting with them you feel could take them away from you. And so that's a sign of weakness. It's not attractive, it's not confident, and usually with rebound relationships, jealousy of the ex will drive it away, will fizzle it out, and oftentimes send your ex back to you. So it may be frustrating to deal with, but if they are saying bad things about you and jealous, then that person is probably going to be on his or her way out the door fairly soon. So that's something you should see as positive. Another thing that I will tell you with a rebound relationship is do not let it show that it rattles you, because you would rather your ex think that you have great things going on in your life and that you don't have to be rattled by this, that you can move on from this, and that you're strong. Whether or not it's true, that is something you want to project, and sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Sometimes it's good for you to lead your own self by your own example. But we at least want your ex to believe that you could move on, that that's a possibility. That's where they can actually feel some of that loss that you felt when you were dumped. And if they can feel that loss, and that you could be getting away from them, that you could move on, and so that they have to determine if they're really certain that they wanted that breakup, that can definitely help bring your ex back to you, because this other person, this new person, can feel your ex moving away. They can feel the pullback. They can feel the spark dropping. They can feel that your ex is a little distracted or not texting as much. And so usually the rebound person will do the wrong thing. They'll be clingy, needy, they'll get angry, they'll show jealousy, and that can send them back to you. My emergency breakup kit has a couple of video modules on rebound relationships and how you can use them to your advantage. It also gives strategies on getting rid of the rebound by using the leverage you have because of the intimacy and connection and history that you have with your ex. And some of it deals with chemicals that the brain produces when you have a history of closeness and bondedness with someone. That's my emergency breakup kit, and it's linked to in the description below, so you can click and get more information on it. And it's a powerful thing if you've been broken up with and you want your ex back and you want to start making some progress on that end and not do the negative things that push them away, but you also want to make sure you're doing the positive things that bring them to you. Again, I appreciate the emails on the success you've had with the breakup kit. It's very encouraging. So get some information on my breakup kit in the link in the description below. You can also schedule a coaching call with me at myexbackcoach.com. If this video has been helpful to you and you don't need either of those things, but you would like to show your appreciation, there's a link below to my tip jar, and you can give me an amount that you think is equal to the help that you received. This has been Coach Lee with myexbackcoach.com. Thank you for watching.